going on, Dolph fans? It is your boy Dillon, and just got a little bit of stuff I want to talk about today. First and foremost, Xavien Howard is off to his first Pro Bowl this weekend, so awesome for him. Congrats to him. He's definitely, in my opinion, one of the best corners in the league. He led the league. He was tied for leading the league. I can't remember who with, but he tied for league in interceptions with 7. He's a beast. The Dolphins need to pay this man. I know there were like rumors that they might be trying to trade him, or people were talking about, should we, since we're apparently rebuilding from the ground up. That would be an absolutely stupid thing, and that would be committing franchise suicide if if they did that, in my opinion. In fact, they need to pay the motherfucking dude. They need to pay him like he's one of the best corners in the league. Top 3 at least. Bottom line, point blank, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So there's that. Also, it looks as if the Jets are going to hire Dowell Loggains as their offensive coordinator for Gase, his offensive coordinator. So we'll see how that turns out. You guys know how I feel about that. I feel like at the very least there is a pretty substantial amount of potential for Adam Gase and Dowell Loggains and blah 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 to make us look like fools. We'll see. I mean, as more information and more data comes out, it does look like we may be putting together a pretty solid coaching staff that could have some potential. We still do have a young a young core group of players on this team that have a high ceiling and a high potential, right? So, there is some hope. There is some hope for the future. There's still obviously a lot of time, a lot of things that could happen, changes that could be made. I think I'm going to get into some quarterback talk in a minute. I'm going to get into some quarterback talk with some other things, but let me start by saying that, I think that if they got rid of Tannehill, they'd be absolutely stupid. You guys know how I feel about Tannehill. I think that he gets heaps and heaps of unnecessary and unfair criticism and never gets any fucking credit for the good things that he does. Whatever. So if they got rid of him, I think that'd be stupid. So let me tie that into some of the other things I want to talk about, though. So there's a report that Dolphins have sent Dan Marino to the Senior Bowl to scout quarterbacks. And then also there was a tweet by Omar Kelly's stupid ass, and he was like, quarterbacks are throwing 7-on-7s, and Dolphins GM Chris Greer is watching the O-line versus D-line. And then he puts up a gif of Will Smith where he's like, ooh, right? And, like, come on, bro. First of all, obviously, you can't really unequivocally, identify somebody's tone of voice through a tweet, but I'm pretty sure that's the tone of voice that Omar Kelly was using based off of the tweet, the GIF, and prior comments and opinions and stuff that Omar Kelly has made about lots of stuff, so his track record and stuff. So anyway, yeah, okay, so it's good. Why, look, man, there's this stupid quarterback craze. First and foremost, I think the biggest bullshit around quarterbacks is that, when people think of quarterbacks or whatever, is everybody gives quarterbacks all the shit when things don't go right, none of the credit otherwise, and they don't really take into account the fact that it's not a one-person sport. It's not like it's fucking tennis, right? You don't have one person playing against another person, right? You have 11 fucking people on a team that are supposed to work in unison to get a result. So you can't give either way. You can't give all the blame or all the credit to the quarterback. It's retarded. It's insane. It has to be spread out evenly. And when I say evenly, I actually mean fairly, because it's really on each and every play, there are people who can be more responsible for certain outcomes than others. But that all needs to be properly evaluated on the film, by the film. And that's why, you know, fans always sitting there, you know, hooting and hollering and making all these assumptions and having all these opinions and then being like, oh, well, I could do it better, or they should have done this. You don't have the information required to make those kinds of statements most of the time. You know, and that's why I try and avoid that. I give my opinion, but I let you guys know if it's my opinion. And then when it's something that is clear and obvious on film, like let's say the clear and obvious pass interference call that they didn't call on the Rams defender in the Saints-Rams game that, you know, ultimately allowed the Rams to win, well, you know, or let's say the bullshit roughing the passer call that they called on the Kansas City Chiefs that gave the Patriots a first down and 15 yards when they would have punted the ball back to KC, which would have ultimately prevented them from being able to have a tie score at the end of regulation, therefore putting it into overtime, and the Kansas City Chiefs would have won in regulation. But hey, you know, whatever. But my point is those things are clear and obvious and they're on film, and people can deny it as much as they want, but you know, and people do because of their biases. Like if I talk to a Patriots fan and say that, they're like, no, you just hate the Patriots. You're just a Dolphins fan. Bitch, please. How about you have a little bit of fucking, first of all, why don't you be grown up about it? And you actually use a little bit of logic and reason. You care about the facts and reality, and you understand that what you see on film tells the truth. Tape don't lie, right? I'm sure y'all have heard that phrase before. The tape don't lie. Anyway, so it's just crazy. So yeah, so getting back to Omar Kelly, because he's a fucking clown most of the time. I agree with him occasionally, but that's few and far between. Anyway, so yeah, first of all, there's that, right? That's the quarterback craze. And everybody thinks that fucking you just gotta have a Patrick Mahomes or an Aaron Rodgers or whatever to fucking have a quality team and be a consistent contender. That's ridiculous. Then you look at the fact that the free agent market, and particularly in this draft, and this is more relevant to this particular topic and stuff, but in the draft, the quarterback class is garbage. Garbage. You have Kyler Murray and who's the other dude? I forgot the other guy's name. Kyler Murray and something else. There's two like top quarterbacks, but we pick at 13. Let's be realistic. We would have to spend a gang of fucking a tremendous amount of draft capital to be able to move up to the spot we would need to get one of those guys. And I know lots of Dolphins fans, again, quarterback craze, just do it. Just go up there and trade away all of your draft capital and go up and get a guy that you have absolutely no clue whatsoever if he's going to be able to come into the league and be the next Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. Jesus Christ. It's fucking insane. It's insane. Anyway. So the quarterback class is garbage, and I, personally, do not want to do that. I want us to pick at 13. It's not where you pick. This is one thing that I believe Omar Kelly says. I know a few people say this, but that is actually accurate, right? It's not where you pick, it's how you pick, right? So, I mean, look, the Patriots are traditionally, the Steelers traditionally towards the bottom of the picking order because they're usually in the playoffs and whatever, right? But they always pick good players. Not always. A good amount of the time, though, they pick good players. It doesn't fucking matter where you pick. It's how you pick. Okay? So I'm not trying to give away all of our draft capital just so we can go up and pick a guy that we don't know is going... And what if he gets hurt? What if some unlucky fucking thing happens and he blows out his knee and then we don't even have him for the whole next year? And then he's got a red shirt the next year after that. Look, dude, it's just... Do we need to draft a quarterback? Yes. Yes, every year, point blank, period. even if we have an Aaron Rodgers, even if we have a Tom Brady, even if we have a Patrick Mahomes every year. But guess what you can do when you do that? You pick them in the mid to late rounds. Tom Brady was a late round draft pick. Jesus Christ, people, come on. Right? So, and then on top of that, Chris Grier realizes, because he is a really good scout, I love him, he's great. I think that the way Stephen Ross handled the shuffling of the organization was a bit silly, but whatever. We'll see how that pans out. But Chris Grier is an amazing scout. He's highly respected, and he understands that it doesn't fucking matter who's back there. If we got rid of Tannehill, we spend all of our draft capital to go up and get, you know, Kyler Murray or whoever the hell, and then we stick him in there day one as a starter, and he, you know, doesn't have an offensive line that's going to open up running lanes and protect him. The dude's going to end up being just like Tannehill was, the most sacked quarterback in the league for the first 4 years of his career. Come on, people, like, put it together, right? We need to put this stuff together logically. It's got to make sense, and it's got to be reasonable, right? And it's got to be backed up by facts and data, right? So if that happens, and then he ends up blowing out a knee or something, well then what fucking good is it? What good is it? Seriously, what good is it? So again, I am not at all interested in trading away all of our draft capital so we can go up and get a motherfucking dude that we have no idea is going to actually come in and do the things that we hope he's going to do behind an offensive line that can't protect him worth shit. That is a recipe for disaster and disappointment, and I have no interest in any of that. I've had enough disaster and disappointment in my personal life to last a lifetime and then some. So let's not do dumb, idiotic things that are going to shoot ourselves in the fucking face. Not even the foot. We'd be shooting ourselves in the face if we did shit like that, right? So let's not do that. You feel me? Alright, cool. Man, I actually got a little bit more, like, animated about all this than I figured I was gonna. Anyway, it's all wonderful times. It's a beautiful day. It's actually kind of chilly out here in Southern California. It's funny, isn't it? Anyway, so look, here's the thing, guys. That's all I got for you right now. I just wanted to, you know, update you on a couple things. You know, give X his shout out, so on and so forth. We got Pro Bowl. By the way, real quick, you know, I had some comments and stuff from people, you know, telling me that they might not even watch the Super Bowl because of how just straight garbage the officiating is. I mean, literally, man. The Rams and the Patriots, both good teams. The Rams were certainly far more deserving overall, but neither of those teams were deserving based off of the way that the game played out. Those teams should not have won. It should be a Saints-Chiefs Super Bowl, but instead it's a Rams-Patriots Super Bowl because of the absolute greed of the NFL and their lack of care and disdain for the quality of the game and player safety, let's be frank about it. And so they just destroy it with these crazy bullshit rules, filling up the fucking rule book with nonsense, and then you have this as a result. I mean, why do you think these things come about? Why do you think we are seeing the things that we are seeing? It's directly correlated to these other things, right? So look, man, I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl, you know why? Because one, I am a, you know, super hardcore football fan, and it's the Super Bowl. And so also because of the fact that I do this channel, you know, I'm going to make sure that during the game I can tweet out, and after the game I can make, you know, my show, my video for you, and I can put out to y'all, talk to y'all, explain to y'all about how, you know, the refs gave the game and another ring to the Patriots, you know, and look, I mean, it's you know, it's where we're at. It's the state of the NFL at this point, and you know, unless we keep this conversation going, and unless we put, you know, the pressure on the NFL to make the right changes, they're just gonna keep doing things in the interest of their pocketbooks, and that's it. So anyway, guys, that's really all I got for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Excuse me. I hope you guys enjoy my videos. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.